Hello and welcome to the Chronicles of Football. This is episode 2, and let's get right into the episode. So, for last week's episode, we actually spoke about football or soccer, if you want to call it. In general, we spoke about how, the Premier League, the Europa League, Champions League, Spanish, MLS, we talked about the worldwide sport of football, right? And today we're talking about something a little bit more specific, something more narrow. And I'm sure if you guys are recurring viewers, you guys will know about the Premier League, which is the English league of professional football, is the top league that you can play at. In England, obviously, there are many divisions of semi professional and professional level leagues in the Premier League that can actually, fun fact, if you are, for example, in the seventh division of a semi professional league in the UK, you can actually make your way up through promotion, meaning if you come first in your league, you get promoted to a higher league the following season. So that is one of the only leagues in the world that actually provides a path to professional football for amateur players. And I think it's something very amazing. It's a fun fact that I actually learned just a few weeks ago. And so, about the Premier League, we're talking about a specific team in general, Chelsea Football Club. Many legends of the sport have played: Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, and many more, like Peter Cech. But we're talking about the situation that is currently happening at Chelsea. Chelsea is one of the world's, or I should say, one of Europe's best team, as they won the Champions League last season, and they are kind of in a struggling scenario at the moment as the whole Ukraine and Russia conflict continues to escalate throughout the weeks, with no sight to end of this conflict anytime soon. The UK government, and I'm sure all the EU governments around the world, are starting to oppose sanctions on Russia to be involved in this battle, war, whatever you want to call it, without being involved. So, obviously Canada imposes sanctions on, gas and all this in Russia. U.S. is pulling fast food chains and many other things from Russia as well. Social media platforms are being shut down in Russia, and many other things. So they're all trying to involve themselves by not getting involved physically. In the UK, one way the UK is actually getting involved is imposing sanctions on people that Russians that have correlations or connections with the Russian government. And for how does this correlate to the Chelsea Football Club that we're going to be talking about today? Well, they have their owner has a connection to the Russian government. His name is Roman Abramovich. Excuse me. He's got a weird name there. Roman Abramovich. So he is the current owner of Chelsea Football Club, and he's been the owner for quite some time now. If I'm correct, somewhere around 2008, 2007, he took over. He's taken the club from what it was to what it is today, with legends of the team, legend of the sports playing for this team, winning the Champions League last season, contending for the top of the league this season, and possibly winning the Champions League again this season. Um, he's done a lot for this team. He's brought in great players. He's made the right decisions for coaching and staffing. Also funding. Without funding, they would have not been where they are right now. And one thing that is concerning Chelsea fans is that the UK government is imposing sanctions on Abramovich and making him uh, sell Chelsea Football Club. So he will no longer be the owner of this club. And Abramovich, there's been a lot of drama. Abramovich says that he wants to have a you know long sale. The way that he says it is kind of weird. I think it's just a language barrier. He says, I wanted to have a long sale to find the right owner. And I think by what he's trying to say by a long sale, he doesn't want it to be something quick, easy, and done with. Just find someone, sell it to them. He wants to find the right person, the suitor that can take the club as far as he did, if not further. And I think that's great from him. It shows that he, even through all this disarray and the government saying that he has to get rid of his ownership, he has to step away from the team, step away from the club. It still shows that he has a love for this team and what he's built for it. So that's great, and I'm sure the Chelsea fans, which we are going to be speaking to, will appreciate what he's done for this team. But as of today, it turns out that there are two American suitors for the club. Their names have not been released. We do not know who they are at this current moment of me recording this, of this podcast going live. May have come out that the sale has gone through. Who knows? But as of Friday the 25th, there has been no recollection or news of the name of the two suitors or two finalists, we should say, that are trying to buy Chelsea Football Club from Abramovic. He's also said that a portion, Abramovich has said a portion of his earnings from this club, from the sale, will go through obviously tax. He said he'll be donating it, and he'll also be returning a portion of it to a Ukraine foundation to support Ukrainian refugees, and returning some of the money to the club itself as a donation to support, to show his support. So it shows this guy. It's something the Chelsea fans probably don't want. It's something that is unfortunate for many circumstances, but this is how it goes in football. There are many upsets, many different things that happen, and it's it's quite interesting. I've never seen something in a like this in sports. Whether it's in American football, baseball, hockey. I've never seen it being like this dramatic, where the world economic like scenarios and current affairs are actually affecting a sport such as football. The because early days, like early when this was announced, I think it was mid February, or early February, where they're going to be opposing sanctions on Abramovich. There was a lot of rumors going around that the club was going to be demoted. They're going to lose all their points. That the Premier League is going to be like, okay, we're going to deduct all their points. They're going to get demoted. Sorry, I said promoted. They're going to get demoted to the second division, the one right underneath the Premier League. And for a good 2-3 weeks, that was a big panic, as one of the biggest European teams will no longer be playing at one of the top leagues in Europe, and won't be able to compete for European football, the Champions League, as we're talking about, because they'll be in the second division. And that was very interesting to see a lot of people's opinions, a lot of people's takes on those, because there are a lot of UK YouTubers. You know the UK scene for football is just so big. There's so many popular figures, even like Roy Keane, ex Manchester United player. He's retired now. He's been on Sky Sports as an anchor, as like a talk show host for Sky Sports. He's very prominent in the UK scene, and he was speaking about it as a rival team. He was like, "It's you hate to see it, everyone coming together for the team, and it shows how connected football is. That no matter what race you are, what gender you are, this sport is for everyone, and that really this event has really shown uh, how together football is, especially with the whole Ukraine and Russia conflict. The Premier League has made the captain armband blue and yellow to show, support for Ukraine. They hold moment of silences before matches start. At the very beginning of the whole conflict, I think Manchester City was it? Yeah, Manchester City. They actually made a whole banner because one of their players is Ukrainian. I think his name is Zichenko. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a very difficult name, but they actually made a banner with his face and the Ukrainian flag, and they're like, "Oh, we show support," and he was in tears, and it's great that like even the away fans and even all these rivalries between this team and that team get put aside, for a greater cause, and you don't get to see that um, this often. But on another hand, we are going to be talking with a Chelsea fan known as Matthew Morano. All right, thank you, Matthew, for joining us here today for this podcast interview about Chelsea
Thank
Football
you
Club.
for having me.
You're a Chelsea fan and all that,
Yep.
and you support Abramovic's stay at Chelsea. What has he done for your club since he arrived?
Oh man, I was only like I couldn't even speak when I was in 2004, but from 2004 to current day 2022, we have won at least 38 trophies under Abramovich. Look, what he's done for the club is just simply remarkable. Honestly, he's made my life as a Chelsea fan very enjoyable walking into work and just be like, "We are the champions."
Okay, so with the whole Russia and Ukraine conflict happening, what is your opinion on Abramovich's departure from Chelsea? It was a very dramatic departure. He didn't want to sell the club, and then it came out that he had to sell the club because the UK government was forcing him. And he said that he'll find the right owner for the club. He doesn't want to have a quick sale. He's actually a fan of the team.
He's
You
gonna,
know,
yeah, he's gonna weigh it out. He's gonna, wait until the right uh owner makes a good bid and has good ideas about the club. They shouldn't go. They should. I feel like his decision for the next owner of the club shouldn't be rational. He should take his time and find the perfect replacement as him for himself. Find another genius like him, and I'm pretty sure he's Roman Abramovich is a genius. He can find someone that will do the job just as good as him.
all right. Well, thank you for that quick little sit down interview. I hope you have a great day.
There's a reason why we are champions. What?
Did you not hear what I said?
Your your internet connection is unstable.
That's you.
That's me. Yeah, I know. I mean, it was a pleasure being on here, and I would love to come back on here anytime to talk about my beloved Chelsea.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.